Welcome to Vincent's bike ride. Day one. So I'm currently in Hamilton and I'm cycling today up north. First leg of the journey is going to be towards a town called Ngaruawahia, which is a town, I'm not sure how far, about 20 or so kilometres north of Hamilton, or from my position now anyway. I'm going to stop there for a little bit. So I have family there, I haven't seen for quite a long time, so that's a thing. So for this first leg, I might tell you a bit about first where I'm going on this ride today and for the next frame of time. I actually don't know how long this will take. I don't tend to plan my rides too much, and it's been quite a few years since I last did any distance on a bicycle. So here's hoping it all goes well. So first, where am I going? I'm heading initially only a short, or relatively short distance to a place called Pukekohe. And Pukekohe has a racetrack, motor racing circuit, if you like, where every year they have a motorcycle meeting for the New Zealand Classic Motorcycle Racing Register, or the NZCMRR. Reasons I am going to this race is twofold. First, it's a tradition. This is a family tradition, and I've been going to this meeting since the early 1980s. I honestly don't know when the racing started. I was very young. 46 k's an hour, yay! Anyway, this bike gets good momentum down a hill, all this weight. So, in the early 80s, as a family, we would go up to this motorcycle racing meeting for the weekend. I remember as a child with my brothers running around like a maniac at the race grounds, which hopefully I'll show you some of in a few days at the race meeting. As I said, it's the classic motorcycle racing, and as it says, it is riding, no, excuse me, that was awkward. But they race classic, or old, if you like, motorcycles. Initially it was for pre-1962 motorcycles, as that was the end of an era for motorcycle racing, when the influx of Asian machinery came in and started to influence international racing to the degree now we generally expect the Asian manufacturers to win the championships. In fact, last year, 2020, was won by Suzuki, and the year before was won by Honda. As you can see, these are Asian companies, and they make wonderful motorcycles. But this racing is at the classics was formed to keep these old European bikes racing, which is very good. The noise is wonderful. In more recent years, they've extended what is a classic to, I think it was 1973 as the cutoff, and they call them post-classic. Then they extended again the post-classic class to include up to 1989. I'll try to get back on the road now. Crossing that bridge was easier on the footpath. And that was the Waikato River we crossed, which we will be seeing more of, I expect, today. So the classic motorcycle racing is a tradition to go to for myself. Though of course, when I moved away from New Zealand in 1998, I stopped going. But I returned to New Zealand in 2015 and resumed my pilgrimage to this racing event. Though this is the first time I've ever been via bicycle. The other reason I like it so much, I guess, is that I also, by trade, am a motorcycle mechanic or technician, as people like to call them nowadays. I came from a motorcycle loving family. My name, Vincent, is actually after the Vincent motorcycle. A Rapide Series C was what my father had, and he named me after his favoured bike. So that was a long, drawn out way of explaining where I'm going. But as I said, that was only the first part of this journey. It's about 100 kilometres to the race location at Pukekohe. From there, all going well, if I survive, I will continue north through the biggest city in New Zealand, Auckland, and into what's called the district of Northland. Up there I have a friend near the town of Whangarei I hope to visit. But we'll see how that goes. As I said, I don't like to plan. Plans can only lead to disappointment in my world. Across the road from this junction, you may see a motorcycle shop called Road and Sport Motorcycles. Obviously it says Harley Davidson as well, which are, I guess, a motorcycle type. There's the van there actually, look at that timing. That's where I actually did my apprenticeship as a mechanic. But back then they also sold Suzuki. And that's what I did basically. Not the Harleys, the Suzukis. Which I am happy to report were fun to work on. I love sports bikes. Not these, what I feel are overweight, poor handling motorcycles. I actually remember when that shop moved there. It used to be in a different location, as was this motorcycle shop. And there's another one across to my right. These all used to be in the city centre. But Road and Sport was in fact a toy shop. So at a very young age, it was one of my favourite places in the whole of Hamilton. It was the biggest toy shop in the region. Fantastic. Could get all my Star Wars and toys and superhero toys, all that. So indeed I was born in this town. A long, long time ago, see? But now I'm here with you. So I might be quiet for a little bit now. And you can enjoy some background music. And I can clock some kilometres off to get out of the Hamilton city on this very warm summery day. It's in the late 20s centigrade. So not super hot, but the sun in New Zealand is punishing. I'm a pale skinned person, ginger hair and all. Well, it used to be. It's got a lot paler as I've got a lot older. God, what's this car doing? Oh, they saw me. So I burn very, very easily. So currently I am wearing a long sleeve shirt and a cycling jacket over top, long trousers, and cycling shoes and socks, gloves, a scarf around my face, over my nose and over my ears, a helmet, and the helmet is topped off with my camera recording this footage. This area is called Chirapa. It's an industrial area, as you may have noticed. Well, I said I would be quiet for a while. I'll try. And enjoy, as I said, the music and the traffic whizzing by. Having no luck with these lights. The region now we're coming up to, or the area on my left hand side, is a shopping centre called The Base. It's called The Base because many years ago it was a military base, for all that was worth. Now it's The Base Shopping, which I don't go to very often. I'm not a shopping centre type of person. I prefer going to city centres where the shops are individual and different. I don't know. I prefer the old system, not these big shopping centres that are made for music coming out, horrible music. Yeah. Just not an environment I enjoy. Probably old-fashioned. I've been told that this shopping centre is main place people go shopping in Hamilton now. Rather than going into the city centre itself. Mainly I think due to parking restrictions. There's a lot of parking here, not so much in the city centre. And of course, the free parking thing is a big thing as well. Just one green light would be nice today. I think this is the last set of lights for a while. Leaving the shopping centre area. Other cyclists. You don't see a lot of cyclists in New Zealand. You see even less motorcyclists. The government doesn't like motorcycles. I can't afford to pay the government fees for a motorcycle. Hello. As I said earlier, I left New Zealand in 1998. I actually left my job at Road and Sport, which we passed earlier. But this whole area has changed dramatically. As I said, that base shopping centre is all new, and all this area, all these shops are new as well. Even these roundabouts are new. So hopefully I don't get turned around. This used to be the main road going north, but they have created an expressway, so now this road is what in the UK would be called a B road. Well, I guess an A road, where the other would be a M road. I think that's a better way of describing them. So hopefully the traffic will be a bit more easier here. New Zealand drivers tend to be rather aggressive, so I like to stay away if I can from them. But we'll see. So now we are at the outskirts of Hamilton. Heading north. a green light. Here's a dairy factory. Can't see many cows. There's some over in the paddock on that area. I'm not a farmer. That building over to my right, left. There's horses, I think. Yeah, I'm good with animals here. But dairy factory. Hamilton is the capital, for lack of a better term, of the region Waikato. And Waikato is renowned for its cows and dairy. Not so many sheep in the Waikato. There's a lot of people fond of telling New Zealanders how much they love their sheep. Not really this region. When I was saying I used to be a motorcycle technician here in Hamilton, I think we just left Hamilton now. We did do a lot of farm bikes and the quads they like. Farm vehicles seem to be not the best to work on. They have a rough life, as you can imagine. So a lot of seized bolts. There we go, we've got a Sikh temple. Didn't know that was there. Good for them. Walking, okay. All these milk trucks. And this roundabout. Oh, I frankly don't know which way to go. Where this burgundy coloured car is going is the correct road. It says Auckland. Auckland is north. It's good to me. signs better. Horatu and Ngaruawahia. That's me. That, I guess, is the expressway, as they call it. Which replaced this old road. That was my alarm beeping, that's too. Hang on. I've no idea why it's done this. My lock has an alarm on it. And it's decided now is an opportunity for it to go. Oh well, stop now. Now it's going again. It's not done that before. Boy, when you stop, really feel the heat baking through my jacket. That sun, as I said, is an absolute killer here in New Zealand. And I've just laid gravel on the road. That's not a nice thing. Always concerned a stone will be flicked up, get me in the face. Oh, this is Horatu. I don't know if you could call it a town really. There's not a lot here. A few shops. That's all. But it's dominated. It's dominated by a meat works. All those cows have got to go somewhere, I guess. So the name Horatu is often jokingly said to also mean it's a horror to the animals, as in it's a horrific place for animals. But meat tastes good, so I'm cool with it. The downside, of course, of a meat works is it can be really, really smelly. The miasma of death in the air, the stench of the death and corruption. Yeah, I'm starting to smell horror to meatworks now. Fortunately, it's not that bad for me today. Maybe I'm just in luck with the wind. A bit of cloud cover now, that's nice. Time for a drink. Quaint little cafe. Problem is those places in New Zealand are usually very expensive. I haven't mentioned, but this touring is what is termed shoestring travel on a very tight budget. That's how I have always travelled. more from necessity than choice. I've never been one to worship money. So I always take opportunities to have adventures and sacrifice those safe jobs, those safe incomes. For better or worse, it is what it is. Well, I believe we're getting close to Ngaruawahia now. Let's keep pressing on. Ngaruawahia. So this is a small town. I don't know much about Ngaruawahia. Not a place I come to often. But as I said, I have some brothers who live here whom I haven't seen for some years. And to be honest, I don't know, or I didn't know their address till this morning when I phoned. Well, here we are, Ngaruawahia. Again, I haven't seen this town for many years. It doesn't look like it has changed much at all. Hotel or bar there, it's very closed. Wow, that used to be a mainstay of this town in my eyes. Or maybe it was this one. Again, many decades since I've been here. There's another bar there, it looks much more alive. Golly, this is a narrow bridge. Again we crossed the Waikato River. And with this, I will stop the video and head off to see some family members.